Okay, so we'll start off with paper one. Okay, so there we go. Right. So I hope you can see the screen. Can you?
Yes.
All right. So this is a paper of May, June 2024, last year. Okay, English 9093. And the first question is directed writing response. It says, read the following text, which is an article about bird conservation from a newspaper website. Okay, so it's an article. So the topic that is linked here is actually a bird conservation. Okay, so your teacher has asked you to give a speech to your classmates about the action that your community can take to help the local population of wild bird species. Okay, and you have to write the opening of the speech. Normally, what happens actually in with the students, instead of writing the opening, they write the complete speech. Okay, and there are certain features of opening of a speech that you need to keep in mind. Okay, not every this so there's more of anticipation in opening of the speech. There is more of you know involvement of audience in the opening of the speech. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So these details are always there. Okay. So you don't need to conclude your speech. So you should not write a speech in a way that you are giving your audience a kind of conclusion at the end. Okay. So since it's the opening of speech, it has to have a certain features that opening of a speech requires. Okay. So let's talk about what are the features of a speech, and particularly features of an features that are related to the opening of the speech. Yes, features of speech. Sorry. Yes. What are the features of speech, Meera? Quick recall. Yes, Meera. Okay, Meera is responding us through chat window. Okay. Okay.
Say direct address.
Direct address. Yes. Yes, direct address. So we start with social expressions. Okay, and then direct address.
Very strong hook.
I'm sorry, what?
Strong hook. I said a strong
Strong
hook,
hook. Okay, strong hook. Okay, direct address. Okay. List of three is a very important feature of any speech. Yes, so you have to list things in order of three. It's what has happened first, secondly, thirdly, or maybe you can
Say
use three different
anecdote
adjectives.
sometimes.
Salisha, you can, yes, share now.
Say I was saying that anecdotes sometime
Anecdotes,
like we can
yes.
add
Anecdotes are
anec-
very, very essential. Yes, anecdotes. And there are certain messages from here. Let me just check that. First person point of view. Okay. Yes, anecdotes, facts, all right, to move in to evoke a sense of urgency.
say a clear purpose as well, like a very
Yes,
straightforward clear purpose.
exactly. A clear purpose, right? I'm going to increase the size of it. Yes. Facts will evoke a sense of urgency, clear purpose. Okay. Modify your style or tailor your style to meet the audience needs. Tailor your style to meet the need of your audience. Okay. All right. Social expression, direct address, strong hook, list of three, anecdotes, facts to evoke a sense of urgency, clear purpose,
So
style.
contrast, like when we add contrast.
Yes, yes. Compare, present both pictures, compare and contrast. Okay. What more is needed in speech? So we will keep this. Obviously ideas, because in your case, ideas from the text are very much essential. Ideas from the text. Okay, so because you're building upon your speech on the idea that is being given over there. Okay, now we're moving towards the second part of the question, which is question 2B. Sorry, yeah, 1B. Yes, exactly. Question 1B. Question 1B is actually asking about to compare your speech opening with the article, analyzing form, structure, and conclusion. Okay, so that is your question here. 1B, comparative analysis, right? Comparative analysis. Okay, so in this case, you're comparing your speech. You're comparing your speech with the with article. All right. So what we'll do, we'll make three different. We'll make a table, and we'll divide it into three categories. Yes. So how articles and speeches are different. Okay. So I'm going to remove this part here. Just insert it an extra column. Yes. So form, structure, and language. So now, what are you comparing it with? You're comparing opening of a speech versus article. Okay? Yes. So how the shape of the speech is different than that of article? Yes. Are you there? Meetup, you can share it with me on mic if your mic is working. Otherwise, we are good to go with chat. Yes. So, okay. All right. Take your time. Alicia, you're there? Yes. So in terms of form, article has heading, all right, whereas speech does not have heading, no heading. Okay. Um,
Sir, speech has direct address
okay. Yes, speech has
instead of
direct.
like heading.
Okay. Social expressions are there, right? We start with
Yeah,
good
yes.
morning. Yes. Okay. Begins with social expressions. Okay, as versus no social expressions there. Okay, right. Now we're talking about generic, right? What are the generic features of speech and the article? Once we'll read it, then will become more specific. Okay. Yes.
Sir, speech also includes like emotive language,
Okay. Speech includes more emotive
specific like
language. Yes. Okay. Emotive. Emotive language. Yes. Speech has emotive language,
persuasive tone as well.
emotive language. All right, persuasive tone. Yes. And our speech is more, do speeches have a particular sense of urgency? Do they make people alarm about a situation? Do it evoke emotions?
Sir, but not every time.
Not every time. All right. Depending
I
upon the
mean, Yeah, they're not present in every single case.
Yes, not every single speech. Yes, let's talk about structure. How speech is different than article. So there could be few topic shifts in article. Topic shifts in article are specific with regards to with regards to paragraphing because speech is a talk, right?
So hooks as well, like hooks in a form of rhetorical questions.
Okay, those could be in both um, speech and article both have rhetorical question. What I'm trying to convey right over here is actually speech could have, um, you know, could have one topic linked with the other one, and that's in a very unified or maybe in a very streamlined manner. Okay, all right. So whereas article can have a distinct shift within the paragraph. Okay, because speech is a talk. When you're talking, okay, so you have to link one thing with another one more explicitly as compared to article has very distinctive paragraphs. So if you want to shift within an article from one paragraph to a third one, so you can clearly understand each paragraph has its own topics and has its own theme. Whereas in speech writing, you have to uh, keep a very strong link between the topics. Though at times it depends in the article also. Okay, what about the pace? What about the pace?
So in an opening, it's like fast,
Okay,
and for articles, it takes like a little longer to shift.
okay, just give me a minute. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Walaikum salam. Okay, so pace has to be moderate in speech so that your audience could understand you. What are you talking to them? Okay, and an article it all pace depends upon how what is the purpose of writing that particular article. Okay, and at times pace could be slow when you're describing things, or at times pace could be faster when you're just listing down items. Okay, so that is what you need to keep in mind in top structure. Um, how the article is opening, how is your speech is opening, how are you managing the middle part of your speech, and how are you closing. Okay, these are these things which matter, comes under structure, and that you have to keep in mind. Ultimately, you know, these things matter. You know, the context, audience, audience, and purpose. All right. How are you? On what topic are you talking? Who is your audience? Okay. Who is involved? Okay. What is the context? Right. And why are you talking to them? Or maybe why have you written this
Yeah,
article?
so it's the five W's: who, what, where, when.
No, that not five W's exactly. All right. But context is, you can say where this is written. Yes. Okay. What's the
So
purpose?
when.
When it was written? Yes. Okay. And purpose also has a link with it. Who has written it, by the way? Okay.
Yes.
The context comes with what, where, when, who. Okay. And who, for whom it has been written. That comes with the audience. Okay, and why it is written with the purpose. Okay, so yes, some more or less five W's are to be considered anyway. But what you do is you actually tailor your speed, tailor your writing, tailor your style and and tone.
See, I have a question.
Yes, I'm sorry, Lisha, I couldn't hear you.
Say, I said I have a question.
Yes, please.
Say, when we are writing a commentary, so we're supposed to follow the peel format, right? Like the way we used to do in O levels, like point, evidence, analysis, and then linkage. Is this the right way?
Yes, you can use it. This peel point, evidence, analyze, and link. Okay, you can use this peel. You can use this as well. Point,
For
evidence.
each device the writer has used, right?
Yeah, yes. Point, evidence, evaluate, and link. This can be generated as well. Okay, so this is what you need to keep in mind. But for everything that you are actually commenting upon, okay, please use PQC, point, quote, and comment. Okay, so quotations are must. Okay, quotations are must from.
Yes, except for evidences, right?
Yes, that's right. Point, quote, and comment. That's also needed when you are writing anything related to it. Yes.
Say I have one more questions. At times, evidences are like at times when we're quoting, is it okay? Like when I add like simple dashes.
I'm sorry, what?
Sir, I was saying that at times the evidences are usually long. So is it okay that if I add like simple dashes and then inverted commas to end it off with the evidence? Like write the
It's
few
not,
first words
it
of
is
the
not recommended
evidence.
to use quotations, okay? Longer quotations, okay? Give me a minute, I'm just
Oh,
getting a call, right?
yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay, so yes, where were we? We were talking about. Okay, so yes, Alicia, when you were saying longer quotations and you want to use them through the ellipses and you want to uh, put ellipses in between, like this, for example, Roger couldn't find, and then you put ellipses and then you put the last line, there he was. Okay, and then you can use the quotation. These kind of quotations are not encouraged. Try to use as specific quote as you can. Okay, are you there? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we are going to move on to the text now. There we go. So birds are remarkable and beautiful animals. They are disappearing from our world. Look at the heading. Okay. The birds
Sir,
are, yes,
I can't see your screen.
you cannot. Okay, just share the screen.
Yes, sir, now it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So I said birds are remarkable and beautiful animals, and they are disappearing from our world. Okay, now you can clearly see a sense of admiration is there in the heading. Okay, remarkable and beautiful. The use of two
Sir,
adjective
sense of fear is also there.
sense of
Fear.
fear is also there. Yes. So this actually, this heading has two contrary items together. One is saying like birds are remarkable and beautiful animals, and they are disappearing from our world. So there's a um, you know a likeliness towards animals also, and at the same time, um, it's creating a sense of alarming. It's creating an alarming sense here that they are disappearing from our world. Okay, now you can see this the opening line of the article when the poet Mary Oliver wrote instructions for a life, living a life. She reminded us pay attention, be astounded, tell about it. Okay, the article has started off with a quotation from a famous poet, Mary Oliver. All right, now the word.
And sir, the order of three as well.
I'm sorry, what?
Sir, the order of three as well because there are, three very short sentences
Yes.
straight away in, one line.
Yeah, and last list of three is very much. This is a poetry, is by the way. Instruction for a living life. Now the word instructions is very strong. Who gives instructions? People who are in command, they give instructions. Instructions for living a life. She reminded us. Pay attention, be astounded, and tell about it. Right. So now this pay now with the after colon, pay us attention, be astounded, tell about it. These are three immediate actions which were part of instructions. Okay. Now, the next paragraph we will look at is so this is one way to hook the audience that is being used over here. Creating a purpose of writing, why this is being written, that we need to be disciplined. One of the purpose of this article could be to create awareness among people that how these animals are disappearing and how they are impacting the environment. You see, which is an article about bird conservation from a newspaper website. It is a very exclusive at the same time large audience, which is why this is article is being written. Then next paragraph it says, this past autumn, wildlife officials announced that a bird, a male bar-tailed godwit, flew non-stop across the Pacific Ocean, 8,100 miles from Alaska to Australia in just under 10 days.
Sir, use of complex sentence
There's a complex sentence, and there's a use of evidence to validate the article.
and stats as well, because they've mentioned numbers as well, right?
Yes.
8100 miles. So use of statistics.
Yes, and then it's validate the article which says the journalist has done his research. It is very much important for journalists or writers of article to ensure authenticity. If they are writing something
Facts
only opinionated,
as well.
then there won't be any authenticity. Yes, Alicia, what are you saying?
Sir, I was talking about facts,
Yeah,
that facts plays a major role in articles as well, right?
yes,
Researched, proper research.
yes. Okay, fitted with small solar-powered satellite tag, the Godwit achieved a land bird flight record. But of course, Godwit have been doing this for centuries. Come next April, May, all things well, determined Godwit will make the trip in reverse, bound for Alaska to nest and raise their children, young. They won't be alone. Now, this is a standalone paragraph. Okay. Yes, can you see that? It's a one with a small
Yes.
sentence, and this is the only paragraph, and this is being used for transition. They won't be alone, you know. Now, why the Godward won't be alone, right? Northern Wheaters songbirds less than 6 inches long will arrive in Alaska from sub-Saharan Africa. Arctic terns will return from Antarctica, with each bird flying the equivalent of 3 trips to the moon and back um, in a single lifetime. Bar-headed geese will fly over Himalayas at the altitude exceeding 20,000 feet. Now, again, you can see
Sir,
there's
then use of complex and compound sentences both.
yes, yes, because this is a descriptive paragraph, all right, where they are giving a detail about um, giving a detail about um, different birds arriving at the same place, because that is what the above paragraph hinted us that Godward won't be alone. That's what it said. They won't be alone. The Godwits won't be alone. So they are being joined by different species of birds also. Now, P.T. Barnum was wrong. This circus is not the greatest show on earth. Nature is. Now, the use of this minor sentence, nature is a contradiction of what is being said earlier. The circus is not the greatest
Yeah,
show
it's
on the earth.
creating a great and a wider impact on the audience.
Yes.
Although the sentence is really short, it's a two-word sentence, but still the impact is really greater and much applicable to the wider, we can say, the readers.
Now it's kind of a hook for the reader also, who thinks the circus is not the greatest show on the earth. Okay, people really relate. He's used a metaphor over here. The circus people think this is the greatest show on the earth, whereas circus is not the greatest show. It's the nature which is the greatest show, and which is something that we need to protect. Okay, so it's clearing the misconception among people that who thinks that nature is less valued and man-made items are given more importance. Okay. So I would suggest you to please read the remaining article, okay, and try attempting its part A question and part B, and please send that to me for review. We would like to continue from here tomorrow, okay?
Sir, can you send
All
this in the group?
Better, this is from your resource pack. The resource pack
Okay.
I've shared you. It's on page
right.
127.
May June 2024,
Okay.
paper 2024,
This is May June paper 2024, variant 1-3.
AP1.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone. Okay, thank you for your time. Allah Hafiz.
Sir.
Allah Hafiz.